Welcome back to Beards and Brews. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when we have another one brewing. This week's movie, fuck, it's Spawn. What did we do to ourselves?
This fucking movie.
All caps, period, after the case. I agree. Holy shit. I think this was my wild card pick. You know, the audience doesn't know how we do our like little list, but this was just like one of those random things. And I'm sorry. I'm responsible for this. Fuck.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna recap the movie in 3 seconds. A fucking Fallout ghoul destroys the army of hell by standing still.
That's the whole movie.
This was the first time that I had seen this movie. Like I grew up in the 90s, you know, in 1997, which was when this film came out. This was when I was just starting to sort of get into like alternative culture, you know, I'd see like Spawn stuff. I thought Spawn was really cool. I never saw the movie, but you know, he has this cool image, didn't really know anything about him. I watched this movie. Spawn is not cool.
Oh, look, I'm super glad we agree on that because briefly before the cast, you know, Brady discussed how he watched the cartoon, read the comics, you know, he's got this knowledge about Spawn. Like, I just go into this knowing about this movie, and afterwards I'm like, man, this guy fucking sucks. Like, he doesn't do anything at all. He's constantly getting his ass saved by fucking Bill Shakespeare over here. Then by the end of it, he's just like, man, I'm just a big-ass porcupine. And that's the movie.
Dude, so in the comics, and even in the cartoon, he is trying to, you know, not be a servant of hell because he loves his wife and he's trying to do the right thing, but there's always that power inside of him that pulling him to the dark side, kind of Star Warsy. And he murders people in some of the worst fucking ways, like Hellraiser style with those chains and all kinds of things. This is such a PG-13 take on an incredible character. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's something I brought up actually when I was talking about it with my roommate. Who the fuck decided this was going to be PG-13?
I don't know who distributed this or whatever, but it has to be them because, you know, they want this broad audience to make as much money as possible. But fuck, man, if I paid to see this movie, I'd be pissed.
It looks terrible even by 1997 standards. Like, terrible by 97 standards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole movie is just like draped in just PS2.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a PS1 budget title.
It looks like a 90-minute cutscene from a PS1 game.
And it's so just abrupt. Like, you know, they're just in an alley just fucking brooding, and all of a sudden, boom, cartoon show. Oh shit, it's the audience from Madden 1998. Holy fuck.
Bro, okay. I just want to talk. I know it's a ways away, but whenever they go to hell for the final showdown, that's fucking seizure worthy. It's so goddamn bad.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
Like, in that scene that you're talking about, I actually just wrote down, like, I don't know what's going on because the CGI is so bad.
Yeah, everything is just quote-unquote lava color, and there's like flashes of the characters. It's like if Michael Bay just had crayons to work with.
Oh, this is like Michael Bay's first movie. He just had his school money that he saved up over summer.
I don't know what Michael Bay's first movie is, but I guarantee it's better than this.
You know what breaks my heart is whenever you see John Leguizamo in the suit for the clown, he looks fucking cool. Whenever you see the close-ups of Michael Jai White with his burn face makeup, it looks pretty cool. Whenever the Violator makes his big appearance and they're using the practical effect creature in those close-up scenes between him and Spawn, it looks pretty cool. The problem is those are only on screen for maybe 3 minutes. And then, I mean, like total runtime, you only get to see the cool shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, that might be a little bit, that might be giving it a little bit too much credit for 3 minutes.
Yeah. And then it's just this amalgamation of the worst fucking CG. Even at the time, when I watched this movie, I was like, holy shit, that looks bad.
Yeah, it's to the point to where, like, is this full motion video? I'm like watching Night Trap or some shit. Like, after a while, your eyes kind of like bug out and you don't even know what you're looking at. It just looks so fucking false.
It reminded me a lot of, okay, back in the 90s, I would watch, you know, I was a big wrestling fan. We've talked about this before. And sometimes there would be weird shit that just came on after Monday Night Raw. I don't know. I'd just leave it on there. And it reminds me of some of the weird shit that USA or TNT would play at like 11 or 12 o'clock at night on a Monday.
Oh, this is like the shit that Adult Swim won't play.
No. I can tell you exactly what this is. This is like circa 2010 sci-fi movie original bad.
Oh
No,
no.
I'll tell you.
No.
My roommate and I actually talked about this. This actually looks bad even for sci-fi standards. Like even if you go back to like 2003, 2004, those sci-fi originals had way better effects than this.
It's most certainly a disaster. But starting from the top, we have Simmons. He's like a mercenary fella. He works for Martin Sheen, who's basically just evil Tony Stark. He's going around doing all these dastardly deeds. And it turns out like he thinks these deeds are to just like, help humanity or something like that. But really they're just like an alternative plan that evil Tony Stark has to just like slowly take over the world, almost like a la Bond villain for the fuck of it.
Yeah, something like that. I feel like he thinks he's a part of this plan to, get rid of the bad guys, when in reality he's actually working for the bad guys.
Dang.
Dude, can we discuss how fucking broken this plot is? Okay.
Oh, it's off.
He's a quote unquote good guy working for a bad guy, goes to hell, works for Satan, comes back a good guy, and fights the bad guy for Satan.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck is even happening?
And you know what? That's only half of it, because you have that backstabbing whatever thing circle going along with Clown that he's trying to set up just so he can be on Satan's good end. So they just have this weird twisting of bullshit on both sides, and by the end of it, you're just like, huh, no.
Yeah, there's this sort of like braided interweaving, like, hey, I want you to kill him, all right? Now I want him to kill you, and there's all of these plans.
And the whole time you're like, well, wouldn't it be easier if you just did this? Wouldn't it be easier if you just did this to begin with? Wouldn't it be easier if you just never started this at all?
Dude,
yes.
If they would have just killed what the fuck? They're like, hey, put a bomb in your chest, so when Simmons kills you, you set off the bomb and we win. Why don't you just set off the goddamn bomb?
Exactly. I said that out loud. I was watching this with the missus. Like if he had this, why didn't he just use it? Like Clown didn't even have to need the last 45 minutes of the movie. He could just been like, click, he wins. And I would have been like, good.
Okay, so we start out, we actually see him doing some of his stuff. He blows up a private jet with like Saudi princes on it or something along those lines.
That shit had me rolling. Like Simmons is supposed to be on the air traffic control tower with the remote controlled sniper rifle. Kind of cool, whatever. And you get to see through the sniper scope, and these dudes are getting off the plane one by one. You get this Saudi Arabian fella, and he looks right at the fucking gun and waves with a smile, like, hello!
Yeah,
Okay.
like, I thought he might have been, like, waving at someone else, but there's nobody else there.
No,
I don't know what's going on here.
It was great.
As soon as I saw his fucking Snake Eyes G.I. Joe looking ass, I was like, no.
I actually wrote down both Metal Gear Solid and G.I. Joe, but it looks super cartoony.
Guess what? He gets betrayed in like the most ignorant way. Like the guy just walks in and goes, "Guess what, Simmons?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm a bad guy."
Yeah, and he was so, I don't want to say he was surprised because the guy can't act his way out of his paper bag, but like the guy that he just blew up on the plane was clearly like not a bad guy. He even smiled at him. He was waving. He's like, "Hey, how's it going, friend?" Kaboom!
But as you alluded to, Martin Sheen is in this movie. Martin Sheen of Apocalypse Now and The Departed and other great movies.
Can we get that on the IMDb page, just like a trivia? Like, just Martin Sheen is in this movie.
He is there. He is doing some things.
Yeah, like, I wonder how much they paid him. Like, how did they get him? Did he, like, owe somebody a favor? Because he is sleepwalking. He is sleepwalking through this whole fucking movie. He's just Captain Exposition.
Everyone's exposition. They don't know what to do, so they just have them spout exposition, and it's so fucking bad. Literally, no one puts in any type of effort besides John Leguizamo. I want to say thank you for holding up this film.
I guess. Like, any dialogue that you experience is just exposition, and like just flat out vanilla exposition.
And there's two things that happen to the detriment of the movie, is that like if you're spending all your time telling you how this movie is going to play out, there's no room for characterization. So Spawn is he's just a thing that the movie tosses around.
Yeah, I guess he's just kind of flying in the wind, just being a burn victim. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
No.
The worst part is he's supposed to be the focal point of this.
Yeah.
And they treat him like the fucking, like the dog's breakfast or something. It's just, he's worthless.
But it doesn't make matters even better that like he plays the role so fucking dumb. Like every move that he makes, he's so just bewildered by everything when everything's super clear what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm a superhero now. I don't know what to do, but I have all of these draperies.
Dude.
Like, I didn't even know what his superpower was for the first, I don't know, the whole movie. Because, like, he just shot stuff and he missed the whole time.
This is a fucking hired killer that they're like, he's got the best kill count. He's the most trained. He's whatever. He's a fucking stormtrooper with a cape.
Oh, man. Totally. Totally. Because, like, there's a bit later on where, like, he's in the grasp of a giant fucking gremlin. And, like, he's firing at something, and I thought he was going to pull, like, a Young Guns 2 and shoot out the floor under it. And, like, no, he just gets his shit pushed in, and he's just still flailing, shooting at nothing for the next fucking 30 seconds.
To move the plot along, he gets blown up in his betrayal. You get, like, a hard cut scene of, like, some fire, and then he comes back fully dressed in flannel, looking like a fucking piece of bacon.
Just briefly, like, when he gets set on fire, Simmons is like, I'm going to kill you. To which he replies, no, you.
No, you. Flip it. Uno reverse.
Got him.
All right, so this doesn't have a very big cast. Let's run through who these characters are, just so we don't have to cover that any further going forward. We've got Michael Jai White as the titular Spawn or Simmons at this point. You got Martin Sheen as head bad guy.
Yeah, sure.
You've got, I don't know what her name is, but I know her as Julie Cooper from the OC, the redheaded bad guy's assistant. But you've also got Simmons' wife. They say her name all the time. Wanda. You got Wanda.
Goodness, that's a fucking... She's a MacGuffin. That's all
Yeah,
she is.
and they have a daughter, Cyan. Who else we got? We got the devil.
Just like offhand. Satan, I guess.
Yeah, there's the devil. We've talked about this clown who is played by John Leguizamo, who... guys, let's talk about this clown.
All right. I personally think that John Leguizamo as the clown is a fucking tour de force. This man comes out of nowhere, the only dude putting in a performance. He's in this short suit where he is literally walking in a squat for his art. He eats maggots, real fucking maggots in this movie for his art. He never once isn't. Yeah, when he eats that pizza with the maggots on it, he really fucking did that.
But he hates anchovies.
That was a good line. It was a good joke. And I like how you say that it's for his art because this movie is nowhere near fucking art.
No, like, I feel like if John Leguizamo signed on, he was like, listen, I signed on to this. I'm going to at least give it a chance. I got to at least do myself justice. Like, the movie might be shit, but they can't say nothing about me.
I think he's just a higher caliber actor. I think he actually just looked at the source material and, like, absorbed what he could before he even tried, you know, day one on set, where everybody else is just like, paycheck, you know?
Okay, here's what I have to say about him. I think he did a good job with this character. I don't know anything about this character aside from what I've seen here. I haven't read the comics or anything. I think he did a good job with this character. I just don't know that the character that he made belongs in this film.
I don't know. I gotta disagree. Like, to me, he's not, like, astounding, but, like, he's super fucking annoying in the best way, if that makes sense. Like, he's supposed to get under your skin. He's supposed to be disgusting, and he nails it.
Dude, I was laughing at his fucking jokes, like, for real laughing. Like, whenever he finds Simmons for the first time, he goes, look at you. You're all burning up, crispy. You know, he's just calling him fucking names,
dude,
and I was cracking up.
He called him Captain Crisp like 3 times in the movie, and it had me going. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's just, to me, like, his character belongs in something a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more animated. I think he would belong really well in, like, Jim Carrey's The Mask, but he also sort of has this sort of, like, Ghostbusters, like, bad guy aspect to him. I don't know.
He's a Scolari brother. Oh.
Yeah, it's something like that where the rest of this movie is like, I
Oh,
don't know, a little bit darker, a little bit edgier, or as dark and edgy as a PG-13 movie made in 1997 can be.
There is
okay.
nothing dark or edgy about this
No.
film.
Yeah, like
And I'm going to say this. If you take John Leguizamo and his character out of this film, what the fuck would we have watched?
see right there, you have it. Like you gave me a little bit of an epiphany. Like John Leguizamo represents what this Spawn movie should be. Everything else has been like shoved aside and just kind of like dematerialized into like this boring, underacted, awful movie. So like he's like the little ray of sunshine. I know he's not your cup of tea, but he is definitely the most entertaining bit. Like,
Dude,
bar none.
If you pay attention to when he's saying a lot of his lines, he's not saying, like what he's saying half the time. So there's a bit later where he's like, blah, 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 wussy. And it's overdubbed because he's calling him a pussy, but it's PG-13 and they won't leave it in.
Yeah, this was PG-13, and I think that was a really bad decision. Whoever was on top of that, this, like Spawn, I think this has to be rated R. You need a little bit more grit. You need a little bit less cartoon, and definitely a lot less bad CGI.
Well, hopefully John Leguizamo crouch walked so Blade could run. So,
Dude, I want to push the plot of this movie along, but it's literally just cutscenes of fire.
Yeah,
And
there's
him
not a
going,
whole lot.
dude, can we discuss that too? Because the transitions in this movie are atrocious. Like they can't just like cut or fade or wipe into the next scene. The film just like burns itself into the next thing that's happening, and it has a god awful tendency to burn to you seeing a character say like 2 words and burns again to the next scene.
Yeah, that's kind of exactly what I was talking about when I meant like it looks like one of those like bad late night USA like movies.
Oh my god.
What was it, Hercules with Kevin Sorbo?
Yeah, it's got that like Hercules or like fucking, it's got that vibe to it.
Oh man, like dude, that transition is Windows Movie Maker. That's all it is. It's just like bloop. That works.
Yeah, I keep expecting like little Spider-Man to pop up, dancing the Spider-Man will make you gay kind of dance.
Oh Jesus, this movie, it's a tough one. Like I was having a hard time just like watching it. Like a lot of stuff was happening like all at once. I know this is very vague, but the entire time I'm just like, why? Why is this happening? Why isn't he doing anything? Like, where did that guy come from? Why is he here? Why is he important? Why is he helping him? Of course, I'm talking about Bill Shakespeare or whatever his name was. Turns out to be like some Knights Templar or something.
I just have him written down as old man. He's like this old man. I don't know, like what I would have referred to in the past as a magical Negro. That's what he is here, except he's just an old white dude from like England.
He's fucking Highlander, and he's even got the stupid sword arm. And whenever the homeless angel showed up, I was like, get the fuck out of here with this nonsense. But
oh man,
I don't want to glaze over how they introduced the clown either, because he shows up like Arnold. He even makes an Arnold joke later, and I fucking loved it. So he's in the shadows smoking a big fucking cigar. You know why? Because he's ballsy. He's a stud. He smokes his cigar wherever he wants.
He does like show up in like a very voyeur-esque kind of way. He's in the shadows, only lit by like the end of a cigarette.
Yeah, that's got like some like film noir, almost like Sin City vibes. It's except done way worse than Sin City.
But now he's back, and we get introduced to one of these quote-unquote supporting characters. It's boys have a penis and girls have a vagina kid.
What?
Oh, from Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah, he was also Gage in Pet Sematary.
That's crazy.
Are you talking about like Alley Kid?
Yep, Alley Kid.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of giving me like really poor John Connor vibes.
Oh, but they're playing like a fucking Marilyn Manson song, and
yeah.
Like the way he was kind of like just stumbling around. I was like, what is he doing? Is he about to stumble upon a Marilyn Manson music video just happening?
Oh yeah, God. This, no, it's Lestat fucking singing somewhere.
No, I have that written down too. When there's like a bunch of guys like, I don't know, doing some kind of a seance or something in the cemetery, but they all just look like goth high school kids. Yeah, they're trying to trying to summon Lestat, but they are not cool enough. But can we talk? You mentioned the Marilyn Manson song "Long Hard Road Out of Hell." That is so much the best thing in this movie that they play it twice.
Gee,
Well, they got to get their money.
They bought the rights to that song and that song alone, and they were like, use it up.
There's some other songs in here, I guess, but it's just like generic, spooky, distorted guitars and maybe like some kind of a half industrial beat going on at some point. And evidently they're real songs that I've never heard.
I noticed that too, especially when Spawn was doing quote fingers something cool. There'd be like this guitar wail. I'm just like, man, I'm secondhand embarrassed.
I have that over here. He pulls out his cape of sadness, and there's like the guitar riff. It's like, wow, wow! Like he's fucking cool, and you're like, just like, no.
I feel like if I was in the theater watching this in the 90s, I would just like have a hard take, look around, and just be like, I guess.
Yeah, and then all you can do by nearly the end of it is like turn around in your seat and look back and be like, is this fucking real? Am I being punked? Where's Ashton Kutcher? Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's I don't know. Like, I'm super happy that I'm not like a Spawn diehard fan or anything, because I feel like this movie would just like fucking throw me over the edge.
For sure.
Oh shit.
For sure.
Like, I'm sorry, fellas.
He wants to scrape his life back together, and so he goes home, and somehow his wife has moved on because it's been 5 years, and he sees his little kid playing in the backyard with Clown, dressed as a clown, and he's making some of the most obnoxious, obscene jokes about these little kids, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one with me. Oh no, of course not.
But he doesn't stop. Like, when he's in front of like Wanda and White Guy, he's like doing all this stuff. It's like, nice little kid you got there. I'm just gonna take you with me. Oh no, just here's this creepy fucking little dog that looks just like me. You can have it. Yeah. It like rubs her like a little bit. She just
dude.
It's almost like he's like, I just want to see how clean you are.
Oh, little fucking Clown Dangerfield.
Ew.
But like, to get a good idea of what this clown is like, Danny DeVito as the Penguin, but like smooshed a bit and a lot fatter.
Mm.
And also at this particular point in time at the birthday party, he just looks like John Wayne Gacy. Like, let's not go over that. He looks like John Wayne Gacy at this birthday party, and no one is saying a thing about it.
They're missing it. But it's really cool because Simmons, Spawn, has somehow crawled into the backyard and is laying in a bush. It's stupid as fuck because he walked there, but now he can only lay in a bush.
Yeah.
It just emphasizes how useless he is, because like, he's supposed to be this powerful creature, and I understand like he's not aware of what he can do, but he's just like flopping around this person's backyard, just like, please, I don't mean to look like an over microwaved weenie. Oh.
Dude, he's sitting out there like Effieltes from 300. Look, Leonidas, my spear arm is strong. And he's like, but you're a hunchback, and this is Sparta. But the fucking parents find his crispy ass over there, and they're like, get out of here. I'm going to call the cops. And Clown comes running over, and I was dying. He goes, Crispy, how did you get out? He's like, don't mind him. He just had a run-in with a Jiffy Pop incident.
How are the parents just like okay with this? Like, this is clearly like odd, to say the least. Like, all of this.
Dude, super odd.
And when you say parents, you mean his former wife and his ex-partner.
Oh yeah, that's right. He just like snuck in there right at the end.
Yeah, right in one end at least.
Hey.
By the way, you said that it's been 5 years. What happened in those 5 years? Like, where was Spawn/Simmons?
They explain that like super quickly. We get a scene like after the birthday party, really briefly, where the Clown's just like, oh, you don't remember? Well, in the past 5 years, you were in hell doing all kinds of crazy stuff with the devil. And they do this like weird like flashback where he's like getting sucked through like, a fire anus, lands in hell, and the devil's like, please control my army. And you get to see Wanda again. He's like, oh, Wanda? Shit, man. That's my kryptonite. You got me. I'll do it. All right. What's the deal?
Okay, let's not glaze over the fact that the voice of Satan is Dr. Claw.
Now. Brady, you did an extra bit of investigation. Not only does it sound like Dr. Claw, but it is voiced by the same fella who did Dr. Claw.
It is, in fact, Frank Welker, the voice actor of Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget, and he is in no way, shape, or form doing any other voice but Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget.
And, you know, I'm okay with that. It's fine. Like, it's a little cartoony. It's fine compared to what you're seeing when he's doing that voice.
Oh, Lord.
Oh.
We're going to rag on it again, but the computer generation work in this movie it's cancer. I got to put that out there, man.
Is there a
rough.
word worse than abysmal? Because it's abysmal, like, plus.
It made cats good.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Well, even cats had motion. Like, they didn't even fucking animate this fucker's mouth when he's talking. They made sure to, like, hard zoom in on his face to where, like, when he's talking, you can't see his mouth move because they couldn't fucking do it.
Like, it'll occasionally, like, wave, but not really close or, like, open or articulate. It's just like a fucking PlayStation 1 video game cutscene. That's all I can say.
Oh, it's a tough one.
It 100% looks like Doom 2 cover art.
But after all that, like, we go right back to the alleyway, and the clown is just, like, going crazy, doing all sorts of stuff. And, like, for some reason, Spawn just can't understand that he's been on this fucking fantastic journey.
Well, speaking of fantastic, what I've got here today, is something dark. Dark. What I've got here today is from Perennial Artisan Ales out of St. Louis. I think it's St. Louis, Missouri. That's right. This is Fantastic Voyage. This is an 11.5% ABV Imperial Stout with coconut is what they call it. Let's see how that is. Very roasty. It smells almost like teriyaki sauce. Sweet. There's a little bit of soy notes in there. It honestly smells like teriyaki sauce, not gonna lie.
You want to check the side of the bottle again? Make sure it doesn't say Kiko Man.
I'll tell you, that is sweet. Sweeter than I expected for 11.5%. It does say on the can that it contains lactose, which is definitely apparent now. That is sweet. That is a dessert imperial stout. I do get a little bit of that coconut in there. It's like toasted, like real roasty flavored coconut. Almost like coconut that's been like flambéed or something. But it is thick. It's like a milkshake. Thick and sweet, syrupy sweet. It's not bad, but this isn't for me.
You know who would be into that? Guy Fieri. Too bad that he's fucking busy doing satanic rituals.
Is he? Is that what Guy Fieri's into these days?
Yeah, do you not see him in the graveyard in the next scene?
You know, diners, dives, demons. It's the 3D.
Shit. Is that, like, I've been wondering where this movie takes place because, you know, you see some things, some alleys look kind of like New York, but there's like Notre Dame Cathedral in there. Turns out this is just Flavortown.
Oh, shit, dude. Like, I know he's not your cup of tea, but, like, John Leguizamo kind of shines in this a little bit because Michael White's so fucking awful. Man, I don't know if it's the character. It can't be the character. Brady, you might know more about it, but, like, Spawn in this movie is just so fucking dumb. He's just always just like, what's happening?
Tormented and angry. In this, he's just a bitch. And dude, what blew my mind in this scene and what I like to believe really happened. So Simmons digs up his corpse, finds a fucking locket, and bonds with it somehow. And then he's all broken up about it and screams. And John Leguizamo, I feel like, in character, made fun of him because Michael J. White's like, it's the worst fucking scream you've ever heard. And John Leguizamo goes like, that's not how you scream like this. And he's like, ah, like super loud. And it seems
Let me hear your war cry.
It's just funny that, like, I like to believe that he was just making fun of him for being shitty.
It has to be because, like, the movie doesn't even give Michael White, like, any time of day. Like, you know, he's like, oh, and the music's like, womp sad. And then he's just like, no, do this. And, like, totally steals it from him. Just like, yoink.
Now, I do want to give John Leguizamo a little bit of due. Like, I think with the character that he is portraying, I think he's portraying it well. I think what he is seeking to do, he is doing that well. I just think that the end result doesn't fucking belong in this movie. Maybe it is because the end result is too good for this movie. Maybe that's it. I don't know, but I just feel like there's a big gap between what he's doing and everything else that's going on in this movie.
Agreed. Absolutely. Like, I could not agree more. And we see this, like, in just a few seconds, because after this, Spawn at this point catches up with evil Tony Stark at his, like, little evil get-together where he's talking with his evil cohorts about his evil plans to take over the world and also be evil.
And that's all it is, too. He's just talking about right out in the open. These are my plans.
Yeah, and he's so obnoxious about it. He's like, oh, how's it going, sport? By the way, last week when you tried to take over Asia with those silly bombs, good move, good move. And everybody's just like, yeah, he's just evil Tony Stark.
But there's another character that I forgot about. She's only in here a couple times, but I do want to name drop a little bit. She's the news reporter who has some kind of like an inside whatever with the former partner of Spawn or Simmons, who like she pops in and out a couple of times, but that is Mrs. Jenny Calendar from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if either of you ever watched that.
Every time she was on screen, I was like, what's with her hair? Is that a Lego piece?
I don't know. This movie's all over the place. But our good friend Spawn, the Duke of Deep Fried, drops through the ceiling after gaining his armor and is like, I'm here to crash the party. He's there to kill someone, but he's not even sure who. And he's just like, I'm going to get you. Nope, I'm going to get you. Nope, I'm going to get shot and then go outside. What the fuck?
He drops through this fucking skylight like he's Batman, except he's Batman that's spent way too much time at the JCPenney draperies department.
It's, oh man, that fucking effect or whatever it's called, his cape is ooh. After he lands, he grabs up Martin Sheen. He's like, I'm here to kill you in a minute. Hang on. And he goes off and he starts like, I don't know, reminiscing with the dude that started to bang his wife and stuff like that. And it gives, you know, Colonel Bad Guy enough time to send in his goon, which is that one lady you were talking about. And she comes in, I don't know, she's just wearing this like leather outfit that's just like way too small. And the whole time it's like, how did she fucking get in that? She's clearly uncomfortable. She got beat a lot.
They want her to be sexy so bad.
But she can't even walk in the suit. I was just like, oh no. Dang, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, she's just like hot, I guess, and useless, except she has these guns.
Guns.
There it is.
Yeah, buddy. But yeah, there's like a bit of a dick measuring contest. I'm going to do this and you better not stop me. And then all of a sudden they start shooting each other. And it's some of the worst fucking action I've ever seen in my life.
It's
some
real
of the
dumb.
worst fucking dialogue, too. If you're talking about the little quote fight scene between Spawn and Julie Cooper, like the scene boils down to Julie trying to kick Spawn in the balls.
God.
And Spawn's belt buckle jumps out and bites her in the foot.
I totally forgot about that. I was just like, is this supposed to be a joke?
Dude, it's just it's a PSA for say no to dick kicks.
Say no to dick kicks.
But it gives you like the complete opposite feeling of like Tom Savini's dick gun from Dusk Till Dawn. That's kind of like, you know, he's a dirtbag, but that's kind of a cool move, like as a last resort. This is just like, man, somebody thought this was a good idea.
But their edgy little dialogue back and forth there it's real bad too. She throws out a little early for Halloween, isn't it? And he shoots right back, where you're going, every day is Halloween.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
Oh, God. But they fucking get into a fight. He kills her, and there's like a little thing later that shows her like in a body bag with some cold air around her, like they're going to use her in a sequel, which never happens, thanks God.
Oh, man.
Thank God.
That little bit actually got the biggest laugh out of me because she's clearly shot in the fucking head, you know, headshot. And they wheel her outside, and the coroner or the dude from the ambulance is just like, neck check. She's dead.
Pack her with dry ice. I'm going to fuck it when I get home.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
Martin Sheen just looks so like unemotional when he sees her. It's just like, yep, I'm going to use that for something.
That's him the whole movie, though. He's just constipated for like 90 minutes.
Dude, this whole little ending here, for this scene anyways, is so fucking dumb. So Spawn jumps out of a window, uses chains like Spider-Man to then grow an octopus hand, to crawl around, to then camouflage into a brick, to then jump off said wall, turn into a floating ball of CGI cape, and fly away.
But that doesn't even work. Like, he manages to hide from the cops as like that bit of wall, and as soon as he uncovers himself, he fucking slips and falls.
Yeah.
Lord almighty.
Yeah.
All right, so Martin Sheen is down street level looking like how Nicolas Cage looks now.
Schlub.
there's just hookers and clown is there, and he goes, you know what you should do? I watched this movie called Dread. Hook your heart up to a bomb. I'm gonna go bang these hookers.
We do get one little line in here, honestly, that I wrote down because it was good-ish. The clown. I don't even remember when this happened. Somewhere around here, he's talking to Dredd. The clown's like, "Shut up, you syphilitic ball sack."
That's not even that's not even a punchline. It's just like, fuck
No.
this guy.
It's not a punchline, but it's just like, all right, that's the kind of party this is. All right.
All right.
Oh. So now we get bomb surgery. In the meantime, that little kid's like, hey, Spawn, can I help you? And he's like, no. Ah.
Like, as stupid as Spawn was up to this point in the movie, I was dead set on seeing him hand just a huge gun to this kid and be like, all right, you're my partner.
Let's go, meat. But Clown's there, and he's like, hey, you're going to serve me in the army. And he goes, fucking fuck your army, bro. And pushes him. He's like, I'm going to cut you into 50 pieces and mail you to every state. And he picks up the dog and starts to hurt it. And of course, Spawn Wick ain't having that.
Yes!
No.
Fuck, man, I said that too out loud. I was like, what is this, Spawn Wick? Christ. I was like, is that the catalyst? Because, like, the whole movie, he's just like, oh, Wanda. I was like, whatever, dude. She's like a 6 out of 10.
You can fuck with my wife. You can fuck with my kid, but you're not going to fuck with my dog. Meanwhile, the wife and kid is back there just like, you saying they can fuck with us? Well, I don't like that at all.
Well, from what the movie kind of like makes you try to feel, it's like he would say like, hey, you can fuck with my wife, but I'm not going to let you fuck my wife.
If you can change
Yes.
and I can change, we can all change.
Or
The only person that can really change is Clown, because he doesn't change into the Vindicator. He doesn't change into the Victimizer. No, sir. Not even the Vaporizer. He doesn't turn into the Vibrator. No good, sir. He is the Violator.
It
I
just
was
like,
wondering where you were going with that.
That's his whole spiel.
Oh, is it? Okay.
and he winds up turning into like a really big Spike from Gremlin.
Hell
To
yeah.
me, he just looks like Cho'Gath from League of Legends, if either of you have played that. No? All right. He's
Whenever-
Cho'Gath.
Whenever you said that, I was just like, oh man, Trogdor. Trogdor!
Burninating.
Oh, fucking
But yeah,
thatched
he
roof cottages.
He goes into this Cho'Gath mode, this sort of like giant reptile from Mortal Kombat. That sort of.
Oh, man.
I don't know what he is. He's like somewhere between a bug and a lizard, but really big.
Dude,
Lizard.
he's like as big as a whale, and this motherfucker is hiding in an alley.
Oh man, like the fight, quote unquote. They drop into the alleyway, Spawn shooting up a storm, hitting not a fucking thing. Now, we're kind of underplaying how big this gremlin is. And like for some reason, Spawn cannot keep the beat on him. He's constantly getting away from him in this alley that's like 4 foot across.
It's fucking ridiculous. He just disappears and reappears behind him, going, and then he fucking just beats the shit out of him, sticks him onto a porcupine fence, and then transforms back into the clown and talks shit. He says, "You've been violated, girly man."
I like how he just gets like crucified up on a gate.
Symbolism.
Like, what's he gonna do up there? He's just gonna hang out.
He's just the gatekeeper.
Hey-oh. What's he gonna do? He's gonna hang out with old fucking homeless guardian angel,
Dude.
fucking Highlander 2.0, and learn that he can use chains.
Yeah, exactly. Stan Helsing just walks up and is like, I got you, bro. Here's all the things you need to know. Got it? Cool. It's the end of the movie.
Dude,
Yeah,
he doesn't
he
even
basically-
get time to explain the cape, though. He's like, hey, you also got a cape. And he's like, I'm good.
Yeah, he basically just says, stay focused with your mind and you can do some wild shit. We're not going to explain any of it,
It's
but
so
when it happens,
awful.
just don't be surprised because wild shit's going to happen.
And he's so nonchalant with it too. Like even later on, he has his neck slit, and he saves the day because Spawn can't do shit. He's like, no, don't worry about it. Just think about healing. I'm like, bro, where's the
Yeah.
crystals at? Get this guy going.
And
Oh my
in
God.
between all this, the kid who has been sort of recurring through this, his dad dies. He gets thrown up against a wall, and I don't know. And the kid is just like, and Spawn is basically just like, hey, kid, sorry about your dad, but can you find my dog?
And then just hands him a big gun. It's fucking awful because you're supposed to feel bad about the dad dying, but like early in the movie, he was beating the shit out of little John Connor. Like it doesn't matter. Like even the kid wasn't even that bent out of shape. He's like, hey, thanks. He beat me.
Yeah, like the dad, the only scene that I remember with the dad was when they were like picking through the trash trying to like pick out a sandwich to eat or whatever, and the kid found like a rotten sandwich and is like, "Oh, I don't want to eat that." And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Throwing away good food like that? I'm gonna beat your ass."
Ugh.
Indeed.
So
Meanwhile, the clown's like, "Hey, I'll eat that sandwich."
fuck yeah, he will. He don't fuck around.
I wrote that
Here
down
comes that
too.
bike.
That's oof.
Let's see if he revs it. There he went.
It's probably just like Spawn on his fucking Kawasaki.
Dude, okay. I want to talk about this fucking motorcycle and why it needed to be there. Are they selling toys? Because this was fucking stupid.
Dude, it's embarrassing because like early in the movie, it might have cost money, but like his cape can like whisk him up and like fly his ass away. So he hops on this crotch rocket and he starts chasing down Clown in this truck that just so happens to be there. And it's just so fucking stupid. You have this all powerful, I guess somewhat Spawn fella, and he's chasing a truck on a motorcycle going 20.
Yeah, but the clown has a truck full of necro-goo. His words, not mine.
Trademark.
Dude, he gets exploded and shoots into the sky like Team Rocket blasting off again.
Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, like, when this whole motorcycle quote-unquote chase started, there's this stuntman on a motorcycle, and I don't know if he's okay, because there's a bit where, like, the truck veers on the road, the motorcycle goes on the side of the road through a fence, and the gate didn't let go. And just before they cut into, like, the next road bit, he ate so much fucking shit, I literally had to play it twice. I was like, good God, that man is dead.
Man,
Okay.
Can you imagine dying and your last role was Spawn?
Oh,
Eric?
man.
I want to say this. Clown in truck v Spawn. Poor stuntman. Fence gets him.
Yes!
I
Yes!
took that note too. I was like, that poor fucking dude.
And then, like, we're treated to, like, I guess, in memoriam to the stuntman, this awful, awful excuse for an effect. So, chase. And then the truck is somehow, like, facing Spawn. They kind of, like, play chicken at each other. And it turns into this, like, I don't know, this horseshoe crab.
Yeah, like a big old spike.
Yeah, it just does because he can. That's, like, a lot of the latter part of this movie. He's like, oh, he can do that?
Yeah, it's like he has all these like cool little abilities stolen from other superheroes. You know, you have his burns and his like self-healing from like Deadpool. You've got the cape from Batman. You've got, I don't know, this was kind of from Batman too. I feel like there's probably a Batmo something that can do this.
The Spawn Mobile.
And just like overall, he kind of looks somewhere between Venom or Carnage and Lord Zed from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh man, that's a reference.
Mm.
But either way, like, you know, they collide, big explosion. Clown gets like hilariously kind of just like launched into the air like nothing happened. He's like, "I'll be back next time." Meh.
No, he says, "Ha ha ha! See you at Wanda's."
Oh, so he's just setting up the next scene. No, this is
Exactly.
no, this is poetry. It all rhymes. No, this is good. This is screenwriting 101.
Oh, Lord. And at the house, Martin Sheen is there, and he is taking everybody hostage because the new hubby has found out that he's going to do bad things because he's a bad guy.
He's just there. He just appears like the fellow that's banging Wanda. He's just like, I got all the secret information on my fucking GameCube disc. Do you want it? Yeah, I'm gonna email it to you. And then Martin Sheen just walks in. He's like, Hey, I knew about it the whole time. Shoots the computer screen. I just deleted that email.
So we haven't really talked about it much, but the end result of what Martin Sheen is trying to do is to let off this virus. We don't know a whole lot about the virus, but it's bad. It's some bad news.
It's
just
like
kills
the one
people.
they used in The Rock.
Yeah, exactly. There's no. Well, I mean, The Rock had like an explanation. This one is just like, this is bad. Period.
Yeah, virus equals bad. There's a bomb and it'll be triggered if his heart stops. Then the bomb will explode because he has it attached to a pacemaker that he had installed.
Oh my God. It's got a little golden watch, and if it drops below 50 beats per minute.
Oh no! Oh man, that scene when he got it installed is fucking atrocious too. Because the doctor's even like, there you go, evil Tony Stark. We've installed this bomb in your heart, so if it stops, your evil plan will be evil and work." And he's like, "Thanks, Doc."
Yeah, that's what we have going on here.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
All right,
God.
let's get
Yeah.
there into the movie
Clown's
time.
there. Spawn shows up. It's a big showdown. The homeless guy comes out with his fucking sword arm, cuts Clown and goes, "Mind if I cut in?" And I went, "Ugh," out loud.
Yeah.
Audible eye roll.
Any particular line of dialogue, you can just roll your eyes at it in this. The dialogue in this, and I'm a big dialogue guy. The dialogue in this movie is fucking atrocious.
Just to skip through some non-important parts, they do like a little switcheroo with Spawn, like, "Oh no, you accidentally killed Wanda. Just kidding, it's Clown. Lol. Let's go straight to hell."
Chokeslam, straight to hell.
Ah, man had a family. Yeah, they heliport to hell, and
Nice.
you get this fucking fight to where
I
you can't
guess.
tell what's going on. It's awful.
Dude,
Terrible.
I could not tell what was happening. Like, what the fuck? People are getting thrown around and it's so quick. I had no clue where the fuck I was. Like, I know it's hell, but like, you know, the basic just like geometry of the place that they landed, it was just completely obliterated.
Okay, this had a budget of $40 million in 1997. Mortal Kombat had a budget of $18 million in 1995. There's not a mathematical way that gets this movie to looking as bad as it does. I don't know, somebody's money laundering or doing something. Maybe Martin Sheen had a really high asking price. I don't know.
Totally. Absolutely. Either that or like the money went to like John Leguizamo's fake ass. I just don't know.
It's just stuffed in there, just cash.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why he's all squatty and weird. He's just like hustling around all this money, hopes nobody noticed.
They're fighting in hell, and the whole climax, literally the climax of this big fight is Spawn stands still, and a green light shoots out of him, and everyone dies. Dr. Claw says, "You're not going to get away this time, Gadget." And Gadget gets away with zero effort.
It's like a really shitty end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I really didn't understand how or why Spawn just beamed himself up back through the fireplace. By the way, this whole gateway to hell or whatever, evidently through the fireplace in his house. I don't know the dynamics of that. It's just what we have.
It's kind of like a reverse Santa Claus. Don't think about it.
Okay.
But yeah, like Brady's absolutely right. It's just like Satan's just like, "Hey, don't do that." Spawn does that, and then swoop-de-whoop, we're back in the house.
Yeah, and guess what's in the house? The Violator. He lives in the wall, apparently.
I don't understand how that's a thing. Like, I know a lot of this movie is just like, oh, they can do that now. But like, you know, he was clearly killed, and he comes back as like a vapor mist, and nobody fucking notices. And then he's like in the walls, and he attacks Spawn.
It kind of reminded me of like the Demogorgon or something in Stranger Things, where it's like another dimension, but it's also like the wall of your house too. I don't know.
No.
It looks a lot cooler in Stranger Things, I'll tell you that.
But he comes out, he gets his head chopped off with some chains after a porcupine effect, and Leguizamo's still cracking jokes, and that's kind of fun, and it just, he melts like Wizard of Oz style. What a world, what a world.
Hey Wanda, what do you think of the little head, huh?
I got a laugh
was-
out of me. I'm
that
not
was
gonna lie. I was
good.
like, huh. All right, cool.
Now, stay with me, y'all. Here was my biggest question. After all this, the camera pans over, and there's the kid from the alley, and he's got the dog, and he's just in the house. Number one, how in the fuck does he know where he lives? Number two, how in the fuck did he get there? Number three, how in the fuck did he get into the house?
I got you. One,
Yep.
he followed the dog. Two, the front door. Three, I don't know.
Yeah, he says like, you know, just to wrap that little question up, he says, "Yeah, I followed him home." Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Also, can we talk about how much of a dick this like interloper guy Fitzgerald is, like his former partner? He's just like, somebody's here. Something bad is going on. Let's forget about the dog. He'll find his own way home.
He just boots him off a bridge, and then
Yeah, they
anchor.
just like drive away without the dog. Dick move.
Goodness. And the movie wraps up in like the most awkward fashion, as they usually do on the show. And it's just that one dude, Fitzgerald, he's like talking to his news reporter friends, like, yes, he was evil all along, and not me. I did not know he was evil, even though I was doing evil things that I didn't know were evil.
I was
I'm
an
off the
unwitting
hook, right?
participant. And everything
Yeah.
else will be in the files that I've sent to the news agency. I'm going to go and fuck this guy's wife some more. Peace.
Oh, man.
I
This is
literally
like-
just wrote happy ending.
because it's over. Because you don't have to watch any more movies.
Okay, so it does close with an iconic scene of the comics, which they actually did justice to, which is Spawn atop the church steeple hanging onto the cross with his cape fluttering.
Yeah.
And that looks cool because it's kind of pulled away and it's dark. It looks nice. Other than the closing church scene and John Leguizamo, this fucking movie is trash.
Is that it? Is
Yeah,
that you
that's
closing?
I was curious about it. 100% agree. This is like, it's almost unforgivable. Like, man, I don't understand the decisions made to make this movie. Like I said earlier, like I'm nowhere near like a Spawn fan or super fan or anything. But like, if I was looking to enjoy this character and to enjoy his story, this would turn me the fuck away. Like, I feel sorry for folks that wanted to see this and they were excited when it came out because this is a dumpster fire. Like, this is so bad. Like, it's been such a long time since I've been just like physically reacting to a movie where I'm just like, oh, why? What's happening? You know?
Like, you guys told me that this movie was bad. I didn't realize that it would be this bad. Like, I'd heard about it before, kind of forgot about it. You know, this is from 20 some years ago. Finally saw it. This movie is really fucking bad. It's not enjoyable bad. This is honestly one of the worst films that I've ever seen. And to have a budget of $40 million, you're right. This is unexcusable. This movie should not exist.
Damn. Well, after us being thoroughly violated, that was Spawn. If you have any strong feelings about the movie or the show, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Don't just hit the dislike button because you don't like this movie. Hit the like button because we're ripping it apart. Also, hit the little bell icon too, so you know next time we got another one of these brewing.
Hell yeah. Follow us on all of our different social media accounts. We have fucking all of it. We got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit. We're out here on YouTube. We got Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We have an administrator who's like making little things for you guys to watch. So check him out, man. Fuck. If you don't, we will violate you, girly man.
We're not
Look
going to
at-
violate you. We're probably not going to violate you, at least. Don't say
They
it.
call me the vibrator.
Just look at our shit. Look at our shit.
Spring break forever.
Forever.